What's going on, Graveyard Shift family? It is your fearless shift leader, Dalen, clocked in for another amazing shift. Y'all, I had no intentions of shifting today, but I'm down here in Atlanta and I was driving down Auburn Avenue. And if anyone knows anything about Auburn Avenue in Atlanta, that is where Martin Luther King's church is. Where his former house that he grew up in is, and where him and his wife, Coretta, are both resting. And it just made me think about this funny story that happened in my life, and I thought I would just go and check in with Miss Coretta. First, before I start, have any of y'all ever snuck into a funeral before? Now I know what you saying, Dalen. Who be sneaking into funerals? Look, don't judge me. Judge your bow-legged cousin. I snuck into. Let me give you the story. I remember I had moved to Atlanta from Dallas, Texas, to go to college at Clark Atlanta University, and I wanted to be a member of the fraternity Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, which I am now. But one of the big brothers in the fraternity was in one of my classes. And Miss Coretta Scott King had passed away. And it was the day of her funeral. And I'll never forget, like it was yesterday. We were in class before the professor got there. You know you only get a professor 5 minutes. If you ain't there in 5 minutes, you out. So we was about 3 minutes and 36 seconds in when my big brother comes into class. And he was like, y'all, Miss Coretta passed away and the funeral's today. I'm going to the funeral. Anybody want to go? I said, hey man, the teacher only got 17 seconds. I was like, I'm going. So me and my big brother, we end up finding out how to get to the funeral. But the thing is, you had to go park at this mega church, right? You park in the parking lot of the mega church, and they had shuttles going to the church that allowed, no, I got that wrong. Excuse me. I'm thinking about this story. We had to park at the mall. It was the mall down the street from the church. And they had shuttles picking up people from the mall, taking them to the church. Now, you've all been to a mall before. You know how the mall just has like lines and lines and lines of parking spaces, right? Like literally all around the mall. Y'all, hand to God. As God is my witness. Every aisle of parking in this mall parking lot was people in a long line around down every aisle in this mall parking lot waiting for shuttles to get to this funeral. By the time we got there, y'all, we at the end of the line. There's probably, honestly, no exaggeration, there's thousands of people in front of us in line. But my frat brother was like, look, we getting into this. We getting into this funeral. Y'all, we walked to the front of the line. We was determined to skip the line when the buses came. And listen, it was fate. As soon as we got to the front of the line, some people got to fighting. They was fighting over their spot in the parking lot to get on the bus. So while they were pushing and shoving, what Dalen do? Slid on in there, right? So me and my frat brother slide on in to the front of the line and hop on the very first bus. Boom, we on the bus. We like, all right, cool. When we get to the church, we in. We the very first bus. We got to get in the funeral. Y'all, we get to the funeral. There's probably 1,000 people already there waiting outside to get into the funeral. And now they're not really letting people into the funeral. They're directing everyone to walk to a back church. So the funeral was at a mega church. They had people go to the back church. It was like a church behind the church, like a community center. That's where they were putting all the people that could make it to the funeral. Inside was reserved for family, dignitaries, presidents, senators, civil rights leaders, that's who was designated for the inside. So when we got there, we saw that they were escorting everybody off the buses and the thousands of people that were in the parking lot at the mega church to this back church. I was like, nah, man, we didn't come all this way to watch the funeral on a TV screen. So what do? Y'all, I saw the choir. I saw the choir holding their robes, walking in a line, walking into the church. Hear me go. Hear your fearless shift leader go. I hopped in line with him. Y'all, this old lady looked at me. She turned around and said, "Young man, you are not a part of this church. Get out of this line." I said, dang, woman of God? That's not God-like. She was like, "Get out of this choir line, young man." I was like, okay, lady, don't reach in your purse. Don't pull out your knife or whatever you got. God don't like ugly, but let me get on out this line. So I get out the line, a little discouraged. But I was like, your boy got some fight in him. That ain't gonna, listen, little Miss Loretta wasn't finna stop me from getting in this funeral. So boom, I see them going into the church. Now they had police officers around every door around this mega church. Police officers as well as metal detectors. So I get my frat brother and I tell him, just follow me, bro. We gonna find a way. We gonna find a way to make one. So we literally walk past every door, nodding our head at police officers, nodding our head at people. But as I'm walking, I see a police officer literally leave his post in front of this metal detector. And what I did was, as soon as he walked off, your boy pulled one of these numbers. Walking past the door, slid in. I slid in the side through the door, right through the metal detector. Y'all, I get inside the church and literally nobody's in there. This mega church is empty. And I'm like, why is it empty? Why are they sending people to this back church when the inside of this mega church is empty? So I got my frat brother. And I was like, man, let's go up the stairs to the top, to the balcony, get in the very back. Let's just sit down and be quiet. And sure enough, that is what we did. And y'all, when I tell you, this was probably the most, I can't even explain this experience. Y'all, we hid in the top of balcony of this church for we was up there probably about 6 hours with the funeral. No one moved us. No one came to get us. When I tell you everybody was there, everybody was there. Every living president, listen, Bill Clinton was there. George Bush was there. This is before Barack Obama was president. He was there. Hillary Clinton was there. Stevie Wonder sang. Malcolm X's kids and family was there. Literally everybody who was anybody in the world was at this funeral. Like, it was the most eye-opening experience I've ever had. Oh my gosh. And on the way out, I will never forget, they had programs for the funeral. And in my mind, I was like, this is a legendary moment. This is legendary. I have to get a program to Miss Coretta Scott King's funeral, just as proof that I was here. And as I was walking out, there was a police officer. He had 10 of them, 10 programs that he was keeping for himself. And I walked up to him. I said, "Excuse me, officer, may I please have one of those programs?" That man looked me in my face and said, "You know what, young man? No." I said, "What?" I said, "Man, officer, man, I done skipped school to come here, man. I'm a student at Clark Atlanta University. I just want to commemorate this monumentous moment, man. I just want to show my mama I was here, show my grandmama I was here." I laid it on thick. I was like, "My uncle got one leg, sir. I just want him to know that he didn't march for nothing." I'm over here lying. Y'all, this man finally gave me one. He gave me a program, and I left. I left out. But till this day, I laugh because I was like, how many people can say they actually snuck into a funeral? And not just any funeral, the funeral of Miss Coretta Scott King. So just know, this shifting ain't easy, but sneaking into funerals ain't either. And your fearless shift leader been doing sketchy stuff since the early 2000s. But here we are, y'all. This is Ebenezer Baptist Church here in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia. I believe I've shown you all Martin Luther King's church before, but here it is. This is actually the church where Martin Luther King's mother was also assassinated in for the same reasons that he was. So here's Ebenezer Baptist Church. Has been a spiritual, social, and political center, a home away from home for generations of Black Atlantans. Under the leadership of Williams and King families, the church dedicated itself to helping individuals with everyday food, shelter, and health. This is Martin Luther King's father, Martin Luther King Sr. Look at him, looking just like his son. But I'm gonna show you where Dr. Martin Luther King is resting, which I think I've showed you before, and Miss Coretta Scott King. We're gonna come back and try to do a session with Dr. Martin Luther King. But like I said, I just wanna kind of just see if Miss Coretta has anything to say. So let's take a look at their memorial. Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change. I conceived of the center as an extension of Martin's personality, not just a place, not just a building, but a spirit. One undergirded with his philosophy of nonviolence and love in action. It would be the official living memorial, a place where we would teach his philosophy, methodology, and strategies of nonviolence in the hope of bringing about social change and eliminating what he called the triple evils of society: poverty, racism, and war, from Miss Coretta Scott King. It's a rainy day here in Atlanta, y'all. But the memorial is literally written with a lot of quotes from Miss Coretta. You have writings on the ground. Over here, you have an eternal flame for Dr. Martin Luther King. Here's their eternal flame. Right here. The dream lives, the legacy continues. And here's the eternal flame. It never goes out, hence it being eternal. It says the eternal flame symbolizes the continuing efforts to realize Dr. King's ideals for the beloved community, which requires lasting personal commitment that cannot weaken when faced with obstacles. And here is the final resting place of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It says, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. And next to him is his wife, Mrs. Coretta Scott King. And now abide faith, hope, love, these three. But the greatest of these is love. I don't know if I'm allowed to do a spirit box session here, but I'm gonna try really quickly. But there's people here, there's people coming, the security's over there. So I'm just gonna try to make it very, very quick just to see what we can do. Oh, they just, a busload of tourists just came. Let's see what we can do really quickly, guys. Love, love, love. Family, have y'all ever had a feeling that y'all was about to get kicked out of some place? Let's just say your boy got a strange inkling that I'm about to get kicked out. But that is okay. Anything for the shift. Anything for the shift. Let's try to make this quick, y'all. Let's try to get at least 5 minutes in real quick. Miss Coretta, I don't know if you might be over there or you somewhere over here, but I hope that maybe you can hear me, and maybe you're just curious about what I'm doing over here, so maybe you're over here in the area, but I would love to speak to you, Miss Coretta. My name is Dalen Spratt. I was a student at Clark Atlanta University when you passed away, and I was just telling my friends here how I snuck into your funeral service. It was genuinely one of the most beautiful services I've ever seen in my life. It was the most beautiful program, period, I've ever seen. It's just funny, now I'm sneaking to try to talk to you. Listen, Miss Coretta, I'm just sneaky. But I would love to hear your voice, Miss Coretta. I won't be here long. Uh-oh, somebody walking up on me, y'all. They walking up on me. All right, Miss Coretta. I would love to speak to you. I can hear you through this box. Again, I won't stay long because I know you have a lot of visitors. But Miss Coretta, are you here? I am. Miss Coretta, can you tell me your name, please, just so I know I'm talking to you?
Said something. Turnabout.
Turnabout. Are you able to tell me your name?
Lefty. Lives. Halfway there.
Well, Miss Coretta, can you tell me, you lived at a time where things were very different and you were on the forefront of a lot of change. It was hard. I was going to ask, how was it supporting your husband through in those times? Miss Coretta, do you feel like you got the recognition you feel like you deserve for being involved in the civil rights movement? Did you say you don't? You were helping? Listen, as a married man, I know how much the support of your wife can really move and motivate you. What do you feel like your contribution was to the civil rights movement, Miss Coretta?
Well,
Oh, y'all. Yeah, I'm about to get kicked out. Here comes security. Here comes security. Here comes security. I'm gonna leave it on, y'all. I'm gonna leave it on. Let's just see if I'm gonna get kicked out. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh man,
What's up, bro?
you only can sit there if you taking pictures.
Oh, okay, okay.
You can sit anywhere else, though.
Okay, all right, appreciate you. Yep. Let me move around, y'all. You know how you can just feel it? You know how you can just feel it? Let me move around. Let me move around. He told me I can't be sitting here like that. I can only be over there if I'm gonna take a picture. I can't be really recording over there. So let me, I knew it. I knew it, y'all. I knew it. I knew it. Let's see. Let me see if I can, let me see what I can do, y'all. Miss Coretta. They moving me around, Miss Coretta. So if you can hear me over here, Miss Coretta, I would really appreciate it. Let's just see. Let's see. Anything for the shift. Miss Coretta, are you here over here? Can you hear me over here, Miss Coretta?
Yeah.
So, Miss Coretta, what were we saying? What do you feel like was the hardest part of your journey through the civil rights movement?
So we.
Okay, Miss Coretta, I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions, and I'm gonna move around. I know you're busy. It's a lot of people out here visiting y'all, and I don't want to hold up your attention.
Something.
But I know you losing your husband was probably one of the darkest moments of your life. How did that change you as a person? Incredibly? Wow. Wow. There's been a lot of disparities about who actually killed your husband.
No.
Or who was actually behind it. How do you feel about that? Did you ever find out the truth?
Maybe.
You said maybe. But let me ask you this. Do you feel like you and your husband's journey was worth it?
Me. Yeah. Well, my car.
Miss Coretta, your service was beautiful. Were you aware of what was going on at your service? You said there was a lot. There was a lot. There was a lot. It was a lot. Miss Coretta, it was like 8 hours long.
And
Do you feel like it was a service fit for you though?
What are you talking?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, security just got them in trouble because they put their dog up there. Listen, y'all, there's a lot going on out here. Now, I'm just gonna move around, y'all. Like I said, I had no intentions of just doing this, but I just felt like maybe I could just do a little something because I was right here and I wanted to tell y'all this story. But Miss Coretta, I'm gonna see if I can come back at a different time. Maybe right before y'all close or like right as soon as y'all open up where it's not as many people, because literally more bus loads of people are coming now. And I'm gonna let you get back to the other people that are here to see y'all. Is that cool if I come back, Miss Coretta? All right, thank you, Miss Coretta. Thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King, for letting me talk to your wife. So we're all family.
Great.
All right, thank you. Love, love, love. Y'all. Anytime security come and mess up your flow, it just kind of throw you off. It throw the situation off, y'all. But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We'll be back. We'll be back. All right, Graveyard Shift family. Don't worry, there'll be more videos dropping this week, y'all. Love, love, love. Thank you for joining me on this short journey and just hearing my story. Again, we just want to come by and pay our respects to Dr. Martin Luther King and his beautiful wife, Miss Coretta Scott. Love, love, love. Catch you next time. I knew security was about to get me. I told y'all. You can, listen, when you've been kicked out of as many places as I have, Applebee's, Parks Mall in Arlington, Texas, where else I've been kicked out of? A few other places. When you've been kicked out like I've been kicked out, you know when the kicking out is coming to kick you out. Uh-oh, that's a little. Let me get on up out of here, y'all. My bad. Love. Catch y'all next time.
For righteousness. And all of the other shallow things will not matter. I won't have any money to leave behind. I won't have the fine and luxurious things of life to leave behind. But I just want to leave a committed life behind. And that's all I want to say. If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word of song, if I can show somebody